The hour is getting late. Cold winds blast the city walls. There's a wolf at the western gate. Behind their masks, madness, or perhaps lack of ambition, lack of conviction, or maybe too much. To them, we're all collateral damage, and this is a war of attrition. Behind their broadcasts, static laced with subliminal transmissions. Let's participate in our own genocide, beckon chemicals, embrace mutation. We're all fading echoes of empire. We're all background radiation, frozen out, made irrelevant, unnecessary to tally the blame. This is a pyramid game, a Ponzi scheme, an imagistic opinion factory, belching out the black smoke of our commonplace consciousnesses. And we're just lovers of the spectacle, replete with privilege and entitlement, slaves to shifting identity, politician clones in identical focus group feedback loops, at the mercy of this vast, barren, bipolar winter with splintered catacombs and locked rooms you dare not enter. The falconer cannot hold the center. The falcon falters, chemically altered upon the altar of our convenience. These dead days in deficit and the effortless pressure of dissonance, the ecstasy of entropy, this never-ending century. The land that time forgot. The land that time deemed not worth remembering. The land that time dismembered, sparing nothing. Spun out holocausts in abandoned tracts of suburban housing. Thank you for browsing these brightly colored sprayed markings, demarcating this vomit-splattered territory. What is the merit of history if it is its own cryptography? This decoded substance sings electric in bloodstream. Let's trap our hallucinations in a holographic cage and display them. Let's make slaves of our own imaginations and watch passively. First-person shooter on rails until you get thrown like welcome to the dread zone, with purple bags of laughing gas refilled from deflated surveillance drones. Your deformed targeting systems, inelegant quadratic equations are scrawled on your sickle cell walls. Either the sleeper must awaken or the medication must be taken and the agency must be obeyed. We got no chance unless we hyperventilate in sodium street light glare with those noradrenaline epiphanies tripping vividly until supreme knowledge floods our starlit visions and sets us adrift again. Set us adrift again. Set us adrift again. She said, try and explain it. I said, I can't. She said, try. I said, all I have is images. She said, try and explain it. I said, I'm only as insecure as the eras that I've lived through and never achieved. My dreams are out of shape and out of focus. And when I found her in that dream, I tethered her selfishly, looking at the parallel realities which emerge from the death dreams of the successful, less artifact, more anomaly, an inversely charged motive, temporal flow, adrift but detached from the time stream. And now, nothing but disappointment exists in the faces and expressions of those who used to be my cheerleaders. A youth passed by frantically like the weaving paths of staggering drunks collapsed in the sub-zero. Let me tell you, nothing about this place inspires parabolic curves of escape velocity. I can't even write in a straight line. Past the point of no return policy, financially backed for loss optimization, not adjustment. Frankly, the wilted flowers and turned earth muddle your graveside like handprints in bruised flesh, and the stubs and spills I leave behind are fucking empty gestures, just breathless, restless as a phone call unanswered in the grey light of an unsecured symmetry where I was licking my wounds. So call the clone factory. This model's dysfunction cannot be cured by yearly doses of psilocybin, and it's not my fault you were so quick to sell out. Disappointments emerge and destruct like demolished tenements. Poverty in the abstract, fatal construction. We have built a prison box based upon internal kaleidoscopes of disappointment, a panopticon for failed seekers, gut-busted, rusted hulks in a graveyard for interstellar cruise liners, mysterious interaction at a distance. I'll relinquish my obscurity for no one, content to decomplexify my own structure, fucking face melter, suicide strategy by inches. I'm plugging the gaps. I throw myself down on the mattress in Roach Motel architecture, bitter and scabbed, and say, you have reached the minute abandoned heap where desolation and ideal process come to rot. Yes, this is where strays first go to become abandoned, and orphans dictate the weight of abuse to be measured out in the parental guidance of good fortune. This is a crucifix of your own description, a refreshing carbonated beverage brewed from your bones. This is as close to home as you will ever get, trapped in the narrow alley between an ideal past you imagined and a future which nobody deserves. The spirit of the age of collapse. A psychic vampire feeding on vacuum souls of equal emptiness. No one gets away clean, and when the hordes come knocking, there'll be no escape vehicle waiting. You must pare it down to essentials. Please ask yourself, are you just another obstacle for those more worthy? Because if you see it differently, then please tell me how you figure. I tell you, the pressure of that trigger finger traps me in indecision, and I'm scared to make the decision, but I know one thing. The first cut is the bleakest, and I'm pretty sure you already got there. And now there is no wave because there is no future. Everything can be bought and sold back to you, regurgitated like a bird's first meal. It's the 21st century. You think it's dangerous to feel? It's been wonderful being here at the Devils Pulpit, and seeing as this is the Devils Pulpit, it'd be remiss of me not to touch on religion in some way. So here's my my poem of supplication to the higher forces, shall we say. Modern science is our most complex creation myth. Hydrogen and oxygen particles combine and fuse with surprising symmetry, resulting in extended phenotypes which perpetually experience physical change. Single-cell structures compete, coexist, become codependent, and billions of years from that 0 point of atomic stability, we worship at the altar of infinity, immune to the touch of neutrinos passing. Our fusion reactors imitate stars, producing inefficient transfer vectors. Fossil fuel explosions harnessed to our expansion as cancer prions migrate from tethered animal to human genome. Tool use becomes simulation, different theories begin to compete, and suddenly an idea is something to die for. But I tell you, the membrane between this quick infinite second and the next, it is impossibly thin. Light gets in and it warps the observable universe. Everything rotates in spiral arms, fractal pathways. Listen, extinguished civilizations could litter our sister planets like a legacy of bad habits. But I know this. The first man born, he called the primate mother, although his soft palate predated words. The first second passed without ever being measured, and a baby universe could fit inside each atom of your hand. We're just here to watch that matter cool and expand. Any change in the fundamental forces and none of this would have occurred. No heat transferred, no carbon-matter reactions. We are the shadows cast by our ancestors, walking in the footsteps of the great apes and the trails of the snakes, the ashes of volcanoes and mountains and stars. We are charmed. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, stacked atoms in symphony. All that exists or can be imagined belongs to us, and we leave the world with nothing. We are all part of the pattern. We cannot be created or destroyed. We are all part of the pattern. We cannot be created or destroyed. We are all part of the pattern. And we cannot be created or destroyed. Thank you.